Hi, and welcome back to Expert Talks. I'm Agathe Ducar. Today we're with Kyle Schiber, who will talk about the difference between audits and inspections and give us free best practices. Kyle, thank you for being here.
Glad to be back.
So, Kyle, should we start by briefly explaining why it is important not to confuse audits and inspections?
So in my role as product manager for audit and inspection solutions at Enablon, I've spoken to a lot of customers who use our solutions. And I've noticed that a lot of the business or operational challenges that users have could be addressed either through audits or inspections. But it's a case where using the wrong solution is like using the wrong tool for a repair job. So the solutions are built differently, they serve different use cases and different user personas. And so it's really important to know what those use cases are and when to use audits versus inspections.
I see. So let's get right into the topic. Cal, what is your definition of an audit?
So the first thing to know is that audits are typically less frequent than inspections. The goal of an audit is usually to go thoroughly assess compliance with regulations or internal policies, procedures, or some other requirements. Audits also allow a company to self-check to make sure that these procedures and policies are running as expected. Compliance managers and audit managers always want to automate and improve the management of audits to save time and money. And also audits can be done by a third party and can include an auditor from your company or an external auditor.
Okay. So then what's the definition of inspection?
Yeah, inspections are about completing checklists by facility personnel. So you can think of an inspection as a compliance task or some other task that's done through a checklist. For example, an inspection can be a targeted verification to see if a specific equipment or process is operating in a safe and environmentally friendly way. So a site-level EHS manager or plant manager would look for ways to conduct that inspection quickly and in a user-friendly way directly in the field.
Great. Well, so Kyle, these definitions are interesting, but is there a simple way for someone to distinguish between an audit and an inspection?
Yeah, you can use the plan, do, check, act cycle to better differentiate whether something is an audit or an inspection. So at a high level, an inspection would be found in the do stage. So an inspection is something that a site is required to do because of a compliance obligation or as part of an internal process. So audits, on the other hand, would be found in the check stage. So an audit is about checking that compliance obligations or other requirements are met, including that those required inspections are done. So for example, an environmental permit may require you to do an inspection weekly on a piece of equipment, and then you may want to perform an annual audit to check compliance with the requirements to do those inspections.
Excellent. Well, that makes sense. Well, Kai, let's conclude with free audit and inspection best practices that you have observed from companies using Enablon solutions.
So one, don't just check for completion of audits and inspections. Make sure you're using those results to gather insights. See what's working, see what's not working, so you can identify opportunities for improvements. 2, have a process to update your checklists. Regulations change, but so do hazards and risks that you want to manage. So you need to make sure that your questionnaires for audits, your inspection checklists are always up to date. And at the same time, you want to maintain a historical record of your old audits and inspections as well. And then 3, always have action plans associated to audit and inspection results. You want to make sure that you're completing that plan, do, check, act cycle so you can fix errors and continuously improve. If an instance of a non-compliance or a weakness is identified, be sure to launch an action plan to fix that issue.
Excellent. Well, Kai, thank you so much for explaining audits and inspections and for sharing best practices. And thank you all for watching Expert Talks. Stay tuned for more insights on industry topics.